The runner came flying toward home plate and made an absolutely insane slide. He managed to avoid the tag at the last possible moment and somehow reached home safely. The whole play was so close, it felt like everyone was holding their breath watching it. Then he popped right back up, spread his arms, and confidently signaled safe to the umpire. That was an incredible slide. He was sprinting across the field while carefully tracking the ball and then suddenly realized it was heading over the wall without slowing down. He changed direction and raced straight toward the wall at full speed, then somehow climbed up it like a ninja and reached the ball at the perfect moment. He actually managed to make the catch before coming back down with an incredibly smooth landing. The entire play looked less like baseball and more like a parkour stunt. That was an unbelievable defensive play. The moment the ball was hit, he launched himself through the air like Superman and somehow made the catch. But what makes this play even more impressive is that he had already read the direction of the hit and positioned himself exactly where the ball was going to travel. That incredible anticipation gave him the perfect chance to make the diving catch. He was running toward the ball when he suddenly changed direction and immediately launched himself into a full dive to make the catch. The timing was perfect and the entire movement looked incredibly smooth, but somehow the ball had taken a wild path after the batter made contact and still he managed to track it down and make an unbelievable catch. That was absolutely crazy. He launched himself into a full dive as the ball was hit directly in front of him. He timed the jump perfectly and managed to catch the ball cleanly while fully stretched out. That was an incredible defensive play. The ball was fired toward the catcher as the runner raced toward home plate. He knew the tag was coming and tried to avoid it by jumping completely over the catcher while also avoiding a direct collision. For a moment, it looked like he might actually get past the tag, but the catcher stayed focused and somehow managed to reach him with the glove at the perfect moment. It was an incredibly close play, and the runner's effort to avoid the tag made the whole thing even crazier. He caught the ball and instantly turned his entire body before firing a powerful throw toward first base. What makes this play so impressive is that he never really stopped to set his feet. The catch and throw happened almost at the exact same time as he used the momentum from his rotation to generate the throw. The movement was incredibly smooth, fast, and perfectly coordinated. Everyone watching could barely believe what they had just seen because it looked like one continuous motion from the catch all the way to the release. That was absolutely insane. He immediately took off toward the left side as soon as he saw where the ball was heading. He kept sprinting while tracking it over his shoulder and realized he had a chance to make an incredible play without slowing down. He stretched out at the perfect moment and somehow managed to catch the ball just before it reached the ground. The catch itself was already impressive, but what happened next made it even crazier. His landing was far from smooth as his body hit the ground and he continued rolling across the field, yet somehow he never lost control of the ball. He held onto it throughout the entire play, and after seeing the replay, it is easy to understand why everyone was amazed. That was an unbelievable effort and one of those defensive plays that looks almost impossible. The umpire was dressed like a ninja and even pulled off a backflip while making the call. Meanwhile, the pitcher was wearing a white mask over his face and throwing the ball with all kinds of unusual tricks and movements. Every part of this play looked completely different from a normal baseball game. The way everyone was performing made it feel like we were watching an action show instead of a baseball game. This might be one of the most entertaining baseball moments ever. He absolutely crushed the ball, and the moment he realized it was heading out of the park, he immediately tossed his bat away and started celebrating as if he had just won the entire game. The contact was so clean and powerful that he barely needed to watch the ball after making the swing. He already knew exactly what was about to happen. The confidence was incredible as he admired the shot and celebrated before the ball even reached the crowd. The way he reacted made it look like there was never any doubt this ball was leaving the stadium, and that perfect swing gave him every reason to celebrate like that. The batter tossed his bat away right after making contact, and the umpire simply stood there watching as if he already knew exactly what was about to happen. The batter had absolutely crushed the pitch with a perfect swing, sending the ball high into the air and deep toward the stands. The contact was so clean and powerful that he immediately knew it had a chance to leave the park. He barely paid attention to anything else and just watched the ball travel while the umpire calmly looked on before eventually giving the ball back to the catcher. The confidence from the batter and the completely calm reaction from the umpire made the whole moment even more entertaining. This is a reminder of just how dangerous it can be to play catcher. One missed pitch can suddenly turn into a frightening moment when the ball gets past the glove and strikes the catcher directly. There are also moments when a fast-moving ball hits the helmet with incredible force and even damages the protective gear. Despite all the equipment they wear, catchers are constantly exposed to unpredictable impacts from pitches, foul balls, and wild throws. This is why the catcher position requires so much focus, courage, and protection every single pitch. The ball was thrown towards second base, and the baseman quickly moved in to make the tag. But the play took an unexpected turn when the tag accidentally landed on the runner in a very sensitive area. The runner immediately reacted to the awkward contact, while everyone around him could only watch the unusual moment unfold. It was supposed to be a routine tag, but somehow turned into one of the most unfortunate plays of the game. The coach was teaching this kid how to swing the bat without actually making contact with the ball, but somehow the kid took the instruction a little too seriously and ended up hitting the ball anyway. The ball flew straight into the coach and caught him completely by surprise. What was supposed to be a simple batting lesson suddenly turned into an unforgettable moment for both of them. He took off his shirt to show just how powerful his throwing motion was, and then kept repeating the throws with incredible consistency. Every pitch came out with the same kind of force and intensity. His arm speed and mechanics were seriously impressive, and the fact that he could maintain that level of power over and over again made the whole display even more remarkable. The pitch came in with serious speed, but somehow got past the catcher's glove and took an unexpected path. The ball struck him in a sensitive area, and his reaction immediately showed how painful the impact was. He struggled to get back up while the play came to a stop for a moment. It was a tough reminder of how quickly a routine pitch can turn into an unexpected and painful moment behind the plate. This kid attempted an incredible batting trick where he had to hit the ball perfectly into a tiny opening that was barely big enough for the ball to pass through. He kept trying over and over again, but every attempt missed the target, and it looked like he might never get it right, but he refused to give up. He kept adjusting his swing and trying again until finally everything came together, and one perfect swing sent the ball straight through the tiny hole. After so many failed attempts, that final shot was incredibly satisfying to watch. The runner took off for the stolen base and somehow timed everything perfectly as he approached the bag. The baseman was already waiting with the glove ready to make the tag, but the runner managed to avoid it with an incredibly quick move. The pitcher immediately realized the first attempt had failed, and without wasting any time, turned around and fired the ball back toward the baseman for another chance to get him. The baseman reached out and tried to apply the tag again, but the runner was already thinking one step ahead. He carefully moved around the glove and used his body to slip past the tag without losing contact with the base. The defense kept trying to reach him, but the runner somehow found a way around every attempt and eventually secured the stolen base. That was some incredible awareness and base running. This kid was clearly in pain after an unexpected play at home plate. The batter failed to make contact, and the catcher quickly ran to retrieve the loose ball with the runner already racing toward home plate. He grabbed it and immediately threw the ball toward the plate, hoping to make the play. But unfortunately, the throw took a bad path and struck the runner in a sensitive area. The runner instantly reacted to the impact and had trouble continuing the play. What started as a routine missed swing and defensive throw suddenly turned into a painful and unexpected moment for everyone watching. The catcher caught the ball while spinning around and then casually struck a pose before throwing it right back to the pitcher. The whole sequence looked ridiculous at first, but there is actually a lot of skill behind every movement. He had to control the catch while rotating his body, stay balanced after the spin, and still make an accurate throw back to the pitcher. This clip is the perfect reminder of how difficult baseball really is. The ball moves so fast, the timing has to be perfect, and one tiny mistake can completely change the play. It looks easy until you try it yourself. That throw was absolutely incredible. The ball curved perfectly into the baseman's glove, and he immediately followed it up by making a flawless ground ball catch. The skill and precision were unreal. The throw came back toward the catcher as the runner raced toward home plate at full speed. Everything happened almost at the exact same moment as the runner began his slide. The catcher reached down to apply the tag. The timing was incredibly close, and for a split second it looked like the runner might beat the play, but the tag arrived just in time and the umpire called him out. This was a perfect example of how fast and intense a play at the plate can become when every fraction of a second matters. The fielder caught the ball and immediately fired the throw toward first base. Without wasting a second, the first baseman caught it and instantly turned around before making another quick throw toward third base. The ball was moving from one side of the field to another in what felt like no time at all. Every player reacted almost perfectly, and there was barely any pause between each throw. The speed of the entire sequence was incredible, and it showed just how quickly a defense can react when every player is completely prepared. The shortstop caught the ball and immediately fired it over to the second baseman with almost no hesitation. The second baseman quickly caught it and made another rapid throw toward first base. And without slowing down the play, the ball was instantly sent all the way to the catcher at home plate. Meanwhile, the runner was already racing toward the plate and began his slide at full speed. The catcher received the throw at exactly the right moment and immediately applied the tag for the out. The entire sequence happened so quickly, with every player making a perfect relay. This was an incredible display of defensive speed, timing, and teamwork. The pitcher delivered the pitch, and the batter absolutely crushed it so hard that the bat slipped completely out of his hands and went flying. But somehow the ball came straight back toward the pitcher, who reacted instantly and made the catch before quickly getting the ball over to the first baseman. The first baseman then immediately continued the play by throwing it across to the third baseman. The entire sequence happened in seconds, and the crazy part was how quickly the defense reacted after such a powerful hit. The ball was hit sharply toward the third baseman, and he reacted instantly by making a quick throw to second base. The second baseman caught it and immediately fired another throw toward first base with almost no hesitation. The ball moved across the infield so quickly that there was barely any time between each throw. Every player was already prepared for the next move, and the entire sequence came together perfectly. This was an incredible display of defensive speed, timing, and coordination. The ball was hit sharply toward the third baseman, and he immediately made a quick throw to second base. The second baseman caught it and without wasting any time, fired the ball straight toward first base. The entire sequence happened incredibly fast, with each fielder making the next throw almost instantly. There was barely any hesitation between the plays, and the ball moved across the infield in a matter of seconds. This kind of quick relay shows just how important timing, reaction speed, and coordination are on defense. The ball was hit toward the first baseman, and he quickly picked it up before making a throw towards second base. The throw looked like it had a chance to beat the runner, but the timing was just a little too late. The runner reached the base before the tag could be completed and was called safe. The whole play came down to a tiny difference in timing, and even though the first baseman reacted quickly, the runner managed to get there first. This is exactly how a fraction of a second can completely change the outcome of a baseball play.